In 2020, 70% of American freelancers reported that cash flow was their biggest problem. It's a bit of a Debbie Downer, right? Managing income as a freelancer can be tricky. No doubt about that. But the good news is, all cash flow problems have a pretty fairly simple solution. I'll talk about why these cash flow problems occur and how you can overcome them. Hey everyone, I'm Brant, and this is Indy, a productivity platform to help you manage your freelance business from start to finish. You know those guys that want to charge you thousands of dollars to turn you into a freelancing expert? Well, we're doing it for free because we know just how challenging it can be out there, and we want to make freelancing simple. So if that sounds like the stuff you want to know more about, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these tips. But first things first, let's talk about why these cash flow problems happen. Reason number one is poor invoicing. Invoicing is pivotal to the success of your freelance business. In fact, how you make and send invoices can make or break your cash flow as a freelancer. With no salary and no payroll, invoices is how you get paid. Unfortunately, it doesn't always go smoothly. With 54% of freelancers stating that it takes way too long to get paid, and 45% of freelancers saying that they get their payments late. That's why it's so important for freelancers to know how to do invoicing well. Reason number two for common cash flow problems: slow clients. Even if your invoices are super professional, there's still the issue of slow paying clients. More than half of freelancers are waiting up to a month before the payments come through. That's a lot of unpaid invoices. A big part of a freelancer's life is knowing what to do when a client doesn't pay on time, because unfortunately, it happens more times than you'd imagine. We have a video that can help you handle late paying clients, and you can check that video out right here. The third reason is that freelancers tend to have just one cash flow line. Think of it like this. If you had an empty swimming pool, you probably wouldn't just put a single garden hose in to try to fill up the pool. It would take way too long, and you'd probably want to use a bigger pump and maybe even a couple of other smaller lines. That way you can fill up that swimming pool as quickly as possible. If one hose breaks, no worries, because water is still flowing in from somewhere else. And it's the same thing with cash flow. If you rely too heavily on one client and they become a victim to the economy, or they change up their business model, or they just straight up ghost you, then what are you going to do? I mean, sure, you can find a new client, but you don't know how long it's going to take for you to find that next client, and you're not going to be getting any money coming in until you do. And your cash flow is going to run as dry as a broken house pipe. And the fourth reason is forgetting about taxes. Nobody likes taxes, and as a freelancer, not only do you pay yearly taxes, but now you pay quarterly taxes. One of the biggest pitfalls for freelancers is forgetting to set enough money aside to be deducted later, and having a big chunk of money taken away from what you thought was pure profit. It can be really disheartening. Okay, so now that the Debbie Downer show is over, let's talk about solutions. How do you fix it? Well, the good news is it might be easier than you think. The first thing you need to practice is effective budgeting and planning. Even though it may not feel like it, being a freelancer means that you're now running your own business. So you need to keep track of how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. Having a spreadsheet is a great start. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. It just needs to keep track of your money so you don't have to rely on memory. Tracking how much time you spend on projects is also important so that you can quote a good price for your clients that's worth the amount of time that you'll be investing into the project. Step number 2 is using high quality invoices. It can be tempting to think that as soon as you're done with the project, the work is done. But invoices are the most important part of freelancing. You need to make sure that your invoices are direct, clear, and professional. When you have a strong invoice system in place, you can greatly reduce the chances of your invoices not being paid on time. And the last thing you need to do is to diversify your client base. To solve that leaking pipe problem that I mentioned earlier, you'll want to diversify your client base. Having multiple clients keeps your work consistent and steady, even if a client happens to pull out or takes a break. And don't worry about getting overwhelmed with juggling too many projects at once. You can use a to-do list or a Kanban board to help you manage each of your projects and stay on top of your deadlines. Being a freelance worker is both really enjoyable, and it also has its fair share of challenges. On one hand, you get to be your own boss, and on the other, you have to worry about your cash flow each day. But the plus side is that no matter how many cash flow problems arise, there's an equal number of practical solutions to help you avoid them. For even more tips, you can check out our articles on this topic in the description box below. You can also find a link in the description to Indy's free invoices tool that'll help you create a strong invoicing system that can help you get paid faster. And if you're just starting out in your freelancing journey or you're looking for more advice, hit that subscribe button. Indy is a company of freelancers just like you, and we want to give you the tips that we learned along the way to help you grow your business. So let us know in the comments what you want to know more about, and I'll see you next time.